Michel de Montaigne, who's the French essayist from like the 16th century, I think, in the Renaissance. And he was known for writing these conversational, very autobiographical, reflective essays about everything. It's amazing, hundreds and hundreds of pages about friendship, on the art of conversation, camaraderie, on digestion. He has one called On the Powers of the Imagination. And if you read it carefully, it's actually about a man's sexual performance. He goes on this tangents all the time. You think an essay is about one thing, and it takes like 40 pages, and he'll talk about like legal discourse before he finally gets to like on Socrates. You're just like, whoa, it's amazing. It's really weird. And anyway, he has this interesting quote that's on, I think it's on about dogma and about like our sense of entitlement to an opinion, unchanging opinions, which I think kind of plagues all of us. So you sort of like set your markers and stay there. And he says, and this is about how creating an environment of dialogue, conversation, and confrontation to challenge that. He says, we must strengthen our ears for listening and strengthen them against any weakness for ceremonious use of words. Embrace friendship that prides itself on the sharpness of its dealings and a love that bites and scratches until the blood comes. And I don't think he's talking about S&M. Maybe, I don't know. He says, there can be no discussion without contradiction. And then I was reading Walt Whitman. Walt Whitman is a kind of famous American poet who wrote The Leaves of Grass, which is this meandering poem about Walt Whitman in America. And he has, he's like, I sing myself, I celebrate myself. And then he has the same thing about, do I contradict myself? Very well, I contradict myself. I am large, I contain multitudes. And I've been meditating on the multiplicity of self. It's so often we just, as we get older, we kind of recede into a singular thing. We get our job and our marriage and our children, and we kind of fit into a box. And we're sort of incarcerated by society. And been kind of thinking about that and how we align ourselves with like-minded people and we feel very comfortable. And then we sort of create a team, and then we create a language, and then we create a unit of measurement of money, currency, and then we create political boundaries, and then we create a flag, and then we create... I love it. I love the new flag. I'm not quite sure what the new flag is. And then we create teams, and then we create armies, and then we create wars, and then we're just like always at battle. And I guess that's modern society, but I've been thinking about that in all of that, in creating civilization, we expend so much at the expense of ourselves, if we truly, really are. So I've been trying to figure out, who am I? America has ruined me, I can't tell. I'm peeling and peeling away at the layers and layers. So I've been thinking about that, and I think one way to do that is to deny yourself, to destroy yourself in order to discover yourself. And that's one thing I've been praying is for self-denial, self-destruction, is to die to yourself and be born again every single day, a new experience, a new day. And then to begin to relinquish the things that feel like fashion, that feel like comforts, that feel like cushions, that make you feel kind of comfortable and safe. And that you must go out and challenge yourself and pursue the things that terrify you and face them with your eyes wide open and your arms wide open. And maybe this like posture of war, antagonism will become a posture of embrace. And that's kind of been something I've been thinking about to try to discover myself. And when reason fails us, then we can rely on education. If education fails us, then we rely on experience. If experience fails us, then we rely on instinct. an instinct. It's kind of the worst of all. It can often fail us. So then we have to rely on improvisation, a happy improvisation, making things up as you go along. And I think obviously we have the skills, we have facilities, we're all very enlightened, educated, enriched people. So it's not like you're going to go out and become barbarians, but I think what I'm challenging myself in my prayer these days is to discover who I really am by improvising, challenging whatever feels conventional and feels dogmatic and feels stuck and monotonous, and try to do a new thing with openness, embrace, and love. That's kind of my prayer, and that's my lecture for the evening. Thank you very much.